Okay, for today, this is the cumulative number 6 review. This is the review for some of the most important algebra questions that you guys have learned this year. All right, so look at number 1. Would you read me number 1, please? Okay, I actually called on somebody, but I guess you wouldn't know that because I pointed at him, so I understand. X squared plus what? Why don't you say it this time? Mr. CF, would you read me number 1? And now we got to know the directions. Quit screwing around, guys. The directions say factor completely. So they want factored form. So you remember how to factor? That's the kind where you do this. I think you're pretty good at this. Try this one without me. She's already done. Shh, don't say the answer out loud, please. All right. That's good. He says x plus 4 and x plus 3, and I think he's right. What if I didn't know for sure? I just multiply it out. That's part of the beauty of these. You can multiply it out and see if it works. And the x makes x squared, of course. And then this makes 3x. And then I multiply these two out, 4x. And those two out, 12x. You do not have to do this, but you can, and you can know if you did it right. Cool, you did it right. All right, let's move on. I think I should leave a few for you to do, but on number 2, a lot of people don't have any clue what's going on, so I want to at least get you started. You cannot start this one until you factor out the 3. What I'm saying is, do you remember exploded form? That can sometimes help. 75 is really 3 times what? 25. Very good. Okay, so now it's like 3/4 makes 75 cents, right? Okay, so why did I do that? Because see, there's a 3 in both of them. Remember this way of factoring? It's not always with 2 parentheses. So like on number 2, you have to notice that there's a 3 that was in both problems, both parts. You pull it out to the front, and you put a parenthesis, and you put what's left. 3 comes out. Once the 3 comes out, technically what I'm doing is dividing by 3. I don't know if you know that, but it's what's happening. X squared minus 25. And does anybody remember the pattern for that kind? Who's got a short-term memory in here? Actually, it might be a long-term memory because it's been like a month since we did this. X and X. 5 and 5. Negative and positive. That's the pattern on that kind. Again, you always have an x and an x, right? And you have 2 numbers that multiply to this. Well, there's not too many numbers that multiply to 25, so it's probably a 5 and a 5. So then this pattern, though, I'm going to just see how smart you are. Do you recognize it here? I can just say it. Can you say it? I can say x plus this, x minus that. What do you think it is?
X minus 2 and 8. Minus 4 and 5.
X minus 4 and x plus 4. X minus 4 and x plus 4. And I'm going to change it to something even more complicated. It's actually not complicated, it's just bigger. So, nope, not 50 and 50 does not multiply to 100.
10 and 10.
So, I don't say 10 and 10, no, I say x, what? X plus 10 and minus 10. There you go. Do you remember that pattern? Because you're going to need that pattern. All right, next kind. Number 3 is a more normal one again. You got 2 parentheses, no big deal. Number 4 is weird. I want you to look at number 4. Would you read me number 4, KM? Oh, come on up. Would you read me number 4, Miss SF? Negative x squared minus 6x. Gentlemen, stop talking in the back. Keep going. Minus 8. Okay. Hint for you on your factoring part of your test. Never even try to factor something with a negative in front. How do you get the negative off of there? Can't subtract it. That's a good guess. It's the most common. You don't add it. You don't add it. Let's throw out every possible thing. You add it. You subtract it. You multiply it. You divide it. Pem, oh, nice. I got a new one from the peanut gallery over there. All right. So this, I can get it off of there by taking a negative of everything. Like the opposite of. The opposite of this is x squared. The opposite of that is 6x. The opposite of that, positive 8. See what I just did there? I did opposite day. Opposite of everything. On opposite day, when you say, like, thank you, you mean, like, I don't thank you. Know what I'm saying? Opposite day. Okay. So I'm factoring out the negative. You know why I did that? Because now I think you can do this problem. What do I mean, do this problem? Isn't it done? Nope. It needs to have 2 sets of parentheses. But now I think you can do it. When you have a negative in front like that, it's just impossible. So to pull the negative out, now you can factor it. J in the back. I think you can do this kind. So, got X's for you. What do you need here and here? She can do it. Let's see if you're really right. Do you want pluses or minuses or one of each or... Alright. Now, if I check first, that's going to be x squared. Am I good so far? Outside and inside is the way I like to do it. That's 2x and 4x makes 6x. It's looking good. What's the last thing I do? 4 times 2 makes 8. She was right. That's it. It's factored. All right. So factoring was the part that you guys used to be pretty good at. Who knows what to do on number 6 because there's a whole bunch of numbers that are really big. You don't get rid of the 8. You don't get rid of the 18. You do something to everything. Oh, what did you say? You said it. Take a 3. What does she mean by take a 3? Just rip it out. All right. Do you remember exploded form? I know some of you guys don't like that, but then again, if you can't do it without that, then maybe you should do that. 3x squared, I don't need to explode that. I need to explode the 18 into a 6 times a 3. You get what I did there? And the 24, I got to break into. Some of you guys are good at multiply. What does that break into? 24 is what I'm talking about. 8 and 3. You're right, except look, I wanted a 3 in everything, see? All right, so now the 3 can come out, and you should be able to handle it from there. All right, so this is a review of factoring. Now flip the page. We're going to also do a little bit of, well, actually there's more factoring on the next page. How are we just focusing on factoring today? That's probably enough. So just do that first page, and not even all of them. We will skip a few. You may skip number 9 and number 13. Now everybody look at 11 for just a second. Why can't I factor that? There are things that are just not possible, but that is not the problem here. Oh, in the back, JR, what did you say again? You were right. Subtract 3, he says. Everybody look at the problem and see why you would want to subtract 3. Because then it equals 0. It's supposed to equal 0, and this one doesn't. Now it does. Those two make negative 30. All right. But see, I'm afraid some of you are just going to factor this because I think you all are good enough to factor that. But I'm afraid some of you will stop there. And I need to show you that when it says equals 0 like this, you need to actually get the answers. Factoring isn't enough. Let's say I figure out it's negative 6 and positive 5. It's not, but I'm not going to do that for you. When you're done, do you remember that deal where you got to do the opposite of this is the answer? The opposite of, why do we not trust the stuff that's on the inside? It'll be like this. But I'm not going to actually find these two numbers for you. You have to figure them out. Once you figure them out, just remember you're not done. If you just put a number here and a number here, you're not done. On this kind, when you have something like this, and it's all factored, you think you're done, but you're not. Just hold on. What would the answer to that be? So you think it's done, don't you? It's not.
Equals negative
X equals negative 6 and x equals 7. That's how you finish. This one, if they just say to factor, that's all you got to do. If they want the answers, you got to do this part. All right, this is the part where we are going to walk around and make sure that you work on this for the next 8 minutes, 9 minutes, and then you'll have some free time. No, there's no, you would not actually work together. You just talk about who's better in your teams. Yeah, I've heard that before.